Hello. Hey, Elizabeth. Hey, I'm trying to see how I can cut the. Hold on 1 second. I was trying to shoot backwards. So, YouTube did send me something today where I can have a moderator now, but I need to go back and do it. I have the camera turned backwards, so I can't see the comments. I'm almost thinking now if I should turn it around. Do you think I should turn it around so I can see today? But I am going to have to make moderators. I'm going to just turn it around for today. Because we are about to get into it. I know y'all feel it. Let me turn it around. Okay, let's turn it around. I did not know how I wanted to do it today, so I was looking like I'm not gonna do it that way today. So, hello, how y'all been doing? Happy New Year! Happy New Year! I know y'all feel this energy. Hey, I know y'all feel this energy. So what do I feel? I'm gonna tell y'all what I feel, and then y'all kind of join in and tell me what y'all feel. Hey, this energy is it's awesome. Happy New Year. It's awesome energy. But I promise y'all, it seems like we just crawled out of something. Like, I feel like, I'm going to put it to you this way. Yesterday, I got tested. I was having a good day, y'all. Every time I felt like in my mind, in my physical body that something wasn't going to work out, and I spoke it, it came through. Somebody came. Yesterday, somebody came and put a box of food on my table. I mean, on my porch. Um, my tag got missing off my car. I got another tag. It's like it was just happening like this. Right on time. So, I reached out. Y'all know I started a new job February the 2nd. I got offered to be assistant manager, and they shipped me off like 30 minutes away from where I live. And I was kind of bumping heads a little bit with the manager, which the manager is only 21. I could understand. I was told that I'm intimidating. And I was like, who, me? So I went back to think, y'all, do you realize possibly since we have come out of this move in silence era, in winter, a lot of us was in the move in silence, observing silence, that by us being silent, observant, watching, listener, what did Enoch say, seers, it's gonna rub some people wrong. So I had to reach out to some people and say, listen, I don't know what's going on, but these things need to be tweaked. But it has been good, but I am aware that whatever we just went through this winter, this alone time, this all one time, really gave us strength. Like it's like everybody's walking around in kind of Leo energy, right? Even though we know it's the New Year's and it's Aries energy. Now, if you know Aries, Aries can be very firm, right? So I don't know where your house is, what house you are in. If that's something you need to do, go look up your natal chart. Man, when I tell you we shape shifted, we shift the energy, we adapted to the shape, we see everything that's going on outside, but by us being inside these few months, and if you really think about it, I don't know if it's CERN or what, it seemed like winter. Now that you're looking back, observing, and I had to tell myself today, as I left my job after sitting there for an hour in the middle of nowhere and nobody showing up for work. We can't take too much. We are on the edge of our seats when it comes to we are doing something for ourselves. This power, y'all know I've been saying the second coming, remembering who you are, remembering what put you to sleep, remembering the sleep stage and now the awakening stage. It's wow. All I can say. So it's almost like that crossroad to destiny. You know you going somewhere in this driver's seat, right? You the co-pilot, the pilot, all at one. Oh, let me tell y'all the thing about the detox tea. So I have been saying I need to get some detox tea. I need to get some. In that box was 3 different kinds of tea. I was like, woo. So of course we're gonna do what's the tea today. So we dodged a whole lot of bullets this winter, getting in our alone state. So, as I said, cross the road to destiny. It came to me, destiny swapping. Destiny swapping came to me in a good way, because when you hear about destiny swapping, you think about the negativity, the negative side of destiny swapping, like somebody being on the, but literally, your crossroad to destiny is like the 16 pennies at the crossroad. That's where we are. The little copper pennies that's ready to, hit go. So we dodged a lot of bullets. Um, we're getting into this alone state, this getting tapping into self with determination. Like, I don't know about y'all. Yeah, it was given to us out of what, thin air. So, hold on one second. It was given to us out of air. So it's air and fire though. It's air, but it's on fire. And this is a number 1. We in the number 10. 2026 equals 10. New projects, inspiration, urge to create. Anybody else out here feeling the urge to create? Like, I mean, if it's knitting, if it's a t-shirt, if it's, I mean, it's just bringing nothing to something. Like, just looking in your house and seeing what you have to create the bigger picture. That's all I can tell you. It's like it's coming out of the air, but it is on fire. Like that's what I'm saying. It's coming out of the air. The creativity is coming out of the air, but it's coming in with fire. It's coming in. It's coming in strong. So you just have to be um, your your toothbrush color. Anybody want to do their toothbrush color? Okay, answer. We're gonna do. My toothbrush is purple. So done. Okay, start. Okay, so wow, it's right in my face. That's the only reason why I don't like to do these because they get them right in my face. Never mind. So another thing I want to say is we are outside pretty much like the star naked, right? Water energy is Mama Waters. I brought out the book Mama Waters the other day, and I still have it out, but I have been reading more on the New World Order. So, but Mama Waters is she's out here because you are 90 something percent water. I'm going to say something, right? So that means we got air, fire, water. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? If not, I'm going to turn the camera back around and I'm just going to flow with it. Let's get it. All right. One second. No connection. Hold on one second. All right. Now I'm back. Hey, Ann. Hey, sweetie. I got to turn the camera back on. Do I have it? Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm back. Hey, boo. How you doing? How you feeling? How are you feeling? Happy New Year. Happy New You. How's your energy? I'm all right. How are you? I'm better. I had a kind of crazy morning rising, but I'm good now. Okay, let me see. I wanted to turn the camera around. Let's see. No. Okay. So that I can. One second. I was laying down. So let me tell you, I went to work today. I'm working about 30 minutes, 35 minutes away from where I live. And I went to work today and I didn't have anybody to open the store. And the girl had taken the keys back because she said she only had one set of keys. And I sat there for, I was there early. So I sat there for, okay, okay, I've been texting you. Have you not seen me? Because you was in my spirit. I've been texting you. But I didn't want to like dig in. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm trying to get it. Okay. Okay. Now, let me get this back right. So I can't see. Let me make sure. I'm trying something new. And YouTube did send me a message today about um about a moderator. So, and don't let me forget, I opened it up, but I didn't really dig in to the moderator today. I'm gonna have to turn it down. I'm trying to see. I can't see. Okay, I'm gonna have to leave it like this. Okay, I haven't seen it. All right, yeah, I haven't seen it. So we're gonna jump into this reading because, like I said, the energy is. I want to see what's the tea. I got me some tea right here, some detox tea. But I pray everything is good and a good prayer. So we have Ace of Wands and Naked. So we doing a new project right now. We are in the urge to create. We in our creative energy. We in our Mama Waters energy. So we have air and fire with the Ace of Wands, which is fire. But when I see that hand coming out of that cloud, it's like I'm giving you fire. Fire is being gifted to you. So it's desire, power, potentials, beginnings, new opportunities, and growth. So let me tell you about this growth we got going on as a collective. And the reason why I want to say this because it's about these cards, right? I don't know if y'all know my story of how I got into divination. As you know, I have a whole lot of books over here. So many books. One of the bookshelves fell, and I need to put it back up or get. I mean, I can't put it back up because I threw the wood away. But I need to get a new bookshelf built or buy a new bookshelf. So I started out with reading my Bible, right? I wanted to know more about what this most high source God is, right? I needed to tap into God for myself. Now, if you don't call it God, whatever you call it, Allah, Allah, Buddha, whatever, in whatever country you in, because I understand when I cut on this live, I'm outside, naked, right? So I needed answers for myself, right? Um, as an individual, it's a different hit than it was when we was in church and we were getting it as a collective and it was being taught to us. But everyone, hi Ann Banks, Miss Ann Banks, everyone does not learn on the same plane, right? So the plane is on the ground and then the plane has to pivot in order to fly. So I still felt like my relationship with the Most High Source, God, and I'm going to say why I have to say this on today, y'all. I got to break this down a little bit more. Hey, Elizabeth. I got to break this down just a little bit more because I got tested yesterday. So, if y'all been around me for this last year between TikTok and YouTube, y'all know I do not always reference the word God. I do not always reference the word Jesus. Right? You can? You can hear me? Because I got my microphone. You can hear me? Was that can or can't, Elizabeth? I see can. Because I got the microphone. I know last time we had the microphone on. Okay. Somebody was saying I was too loud. Well, I'm loud anyway. You know what I'm saying? I really don't think I need a microphone. But if I need one, I will put it on. That's the first microphone I ordered off TikTok. It was for an iPhone, and I ended up giving it to one of my grandkids. So now, because I don't always come up here and thump Bibles, people seem to think that I don't know the Bible. That ain't the picture. That's just not the same way. Right, I'm loud. That's just not what's touching people. I'm not saying the Bible's not what's touching people, but everybody can't get up here and deliver the same way. And people got to understand, anybody on this platform has to be autodidactic, right? You have to hear and you have to digest, right? You have to audibly hear and interpret it for your own. Autodidactic. Look up the word. You are self-taught. Everybody wasn't getting it the way we were getting taught. They felt like their prayers won't get an answer. Like they just felt like there was a communication gap, right? So I learned how to bridge the gap for myself. Study thyself to show thyself approved. I learned how to listen for the signs and the symbols, the ringing in my ears, right? The inner voice, the masculine voice. See, everybody don't get the masculine voice, the sound of thunder. Some of us get just activate, right? Some of us get the feminine voice, the mother and the father. So for me, my motherly voice, I know that's me. Mother Earth talking to me. My fatherly voice, I know that's something different, right? Because I don't see no masculine in my energy, even though I know within me there is a masculine and a feminine, right? So I do not knock anybody thought process or how they get their downloads. But what I have learned in my 52 years of life, just recently in these last 5, because I'm pretty much going in that decade of spiritual study. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to say spiritual awakening, spiritual awareness. The awareness of spirit. Even though I felt the Holy Spirit, I done regurgitated. Let's turn this on. This, I don't know. Let's put this on do not disturb. I done regurged. I done did a whole lot of different initiations that I didn't know in the beginning was initiation, right? But these are individual steps that you're going to be given, right? Some people call them tests. Some people call them gifts, whatever you want to call them, right? So what I learned was I didn't know nothing, right? When I first started tapping in, I started asking people, when you think about God, what do you think about? Right? Because I understood that there was programmed in my mindset from a child that white man on the picture, because I'm from the dirty South now, they had a white man planted with a sun on his head. Anybody know what I'm talking about? It was in all our churches. Put a yes if you understand what I'm saying. If you went to a church in the South or wherever you went, and when you went to church, there was a white man by the cross with a sun on his head. That's what I saw. I had to deprogram that picture out of my brain. And I say that because I was asking questions. I started to ask people, when you praying to God, what you see? Do you see a white man up there with sun on his head and a robe on? You get what I'm saying? That was by process, by intentions. Let me say this, y'all. This is for entertainment purposes only. I am Dream Truth, but this class is for entertainment purposes only. So, what I learned is I had to, for one, number one, deprogram that picture. I had to even go back and deprogram the Last Supper because there won't no women in the Last Supper. It won't no woman hanging up in there. You know what I'm saying? So, yesterday, on New Year's, I'm going to say, I don't know if it's today or yesterday, but to me it was both of them. New Year's. Happy New Year. Yesterday, Happy New Year's today. I noticed that someone came for me. And it was someone that I thought was close. I don't beat what I study into them. And their problem was, one, I don't say God enough. Their second problem with me was the cards. So they were saying, I did not say the word God. I don't think you believe in God. And I said, when my study, if anybody want to fact check me, go ahead, feel free. Set yourself free. In the Bible, I looked up how many times does it say that God is within, right? And I'm saying, as you study the occult knowledge, it says, as it within, so without. As above, so below, right? So, their main issue with me was, well, you reading cards. You started out reading the Bible. Now, for me, as a researcher, you ain't going to get it all in one book. You're going to have 20 books. Let's just turn it around right there for a minute on my desk. Y'all see how many books on my desk? Now, I felt attacked. I felt attacked, but you know what? It made me think, oh, I'm outside. I'm naked. So, when I came out with putting this puzzle, these breadcrumbs together so I can get a whole loaf of bread and feed the people like Jesus did, that's how they want me to talk. I don't talk like that. That has been a program taught for the covenant, for the people who are going to be in the church, right? I'm not trying to be in nobody's church. I'm not going to rent no building to preach, right? We are here for such a time as this to teach. We can't pound it in them. You just got to lead the person to study for themselves. You can't say, for me, I don't agree with walking the red carpet and walking to somebody else's altar, because that's their altar call. You got to have your own altar. It even said it in the book. For you to tell me I'm a sinner, I'm a liar, I'm a cheater, I'm a thief. You know what I'm saying? I'm not with that. We do not have to teach on this new earth, and we all, for entertainment purposes only, we are on the new earth. They done ran this play time after time after again. They done ran this game. This is the third game. This is the third round that they're going to put whatever they putting in there to put you to sleep that you got to fight for. Because if not, we ain't going nowhere, y'all. The ship is never going to sail. The mothership is never going, hold on. Okay, y'all know I stay in a rural area. I smell some smoke. I want to make sure that nothing in here is out there, but it might be that sage, right? Another thing, sage. Sage was the first source of divination that I ever put my hands on. In 2018 was the first year I ever put my hand. Now remember, this is my decade. 2018, 2019, or my 9 year. 2018, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My number 9. Right? Even though it says 2026, we are in a number 10. Right? But this is my rebirth. Now, you also got to think that don't even matter because over there in Ethiopia, it's just still 2018. Right? Because they don't go by the same calendar that we go by. That's why it's a good thing that we have these social media platforms that still let us connect with more of the world, not just the us corporation. Right? The us am. You know what I'm saying? That it's never us until they go get themselves in some shit, then it's us. But any other time it's them. Right? So that's why we going through this. So, y'all, we dodging bullets right now. Right? Everybody feeling like they got an egg in their face. A naked egg. You feel like you did one of them spiritual cleanses when they take that egg and go around your body. Anybody heard about that egg? When they take that egg and go around your body, that's where we at right now. You feel like, man, I don't know nothing. They coming out with this file. The other countries coming out with their ammo. You know what I'm saying? Russia came out with they little what they know. Now here you got Iran to play. You know what I'm saying? Coming out with what they know. A whole lot of information is getting ready to come. If you can't take it from somebody that look like you gonna lose your rocket when these other things start coming out. You know they coming out like drones in the sky. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is whatever source, choice, and force that you listen to, you need to listen very clearly because people that you think you know, remember, let me go back and say, everything I think I know, I don't know. Right? Everything you think you know, you don't know. That's why it says, my people will perish from a lack of knowledge. It didn't say water. It didn't say food, which we know water, water is air. It did not say gas, right? So where we at right now is we need this knowledge. Now, why do we need this knowledge? We need this knowledge for the movement of each one, reach one, teach one. That's your passport. Right? You at the airport with your passport. You got to go teach somebody something. Right? Now, if you're anything like me, you can survival skills all day because all I had to do was survive. Remember I said the church, and it ain't even about, that's what the guy got mad at me about yesterday, is because I said the church left a box. And he said, well, you don't go to church. Just because I don't step foot in the church, I still have my church folks that I deal with. Right? The church folks that I deal with, I don't want to deal with no church folks telling me you doing this wrong or you doing this right. Everybody got to walk their own journey and get it out the best that you can. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when I say I don't go to church, the church is within me. I've been in church all my life, and that's what they threw in my face. You've been in your church all your life, and there you are reading cards. And look, don't worry about my journey. I got to use the tools that I have. Matter of fact, you ain't using no tools. You ain't, and I ain't going to say, I take that back. Thank you. Come on, reverse. I'm not judging the tools that they use. They judging the tools that I use. You get what I'm saying? And you're not going to throw me off because I can guarantee you, if you see any person on a platform that's bold enough to come up here with some cards, they already done been through the dark night of soul. They already done been to hell. Don't try to send them back. Because they had to have courage to go pick up something that everybody outside of them, because some people, you the first generational person that touched some cards that looked like you. Because they sold it to you as evil. So that is the truth. That's my truth of what I saw with my two eyes. I didn't see a whole lot of women that looked like me doing palm readings. Matter of fact, Reiki healing, energy work, I didn't see it. Spirit had to tell me this is energy reading. You get what I'm saying? So that's it. All right. So where we at right now, y'all? We know we dodging bullets, but we got to be committed this time. We have to be committed this time to you are not alone. Right? Yesterday, excuse me. Yesterday, like I said, my tag was missing off the truck and I couldn't really go nowhere until I had to figure out, right? I had to find a solution to the problem. Does that not seem like what we doing with all this right here? Finding a solution to a problem to keep us in alignment. To keep us out of distractions. So I went out. I saw these two ladies. They in a couple. I don't pass judgment, right? Whatever you do, that's on you. Do it outside. Do it in the house. It don't matter to me. We naked. We naked. So I was going to the car and I spoke to her because I knew her. I know of her. I don't know her, right? She used to be a neighbor of mine back when I came back from Atlanta. So I came back from Atlanta in 2012. So I met her around 2015. And I said, hey, how you doing? I already had heard in the rural area that there was something going on. So I said, hey, how you doing? I said, do you remember me? And she said, yes. And so I said, how you doing? And she went on to tell me parts of her story. She was in the house with her child. The light bill went up to $1,400. She couldn't pay it. Her child dipped out. So she ended up, her and her girlfriend was there in the house for another 2 weeks. But they might have been going to a shelter on Monday. Or Sunday or Monday, whenever the shelter, I think Monday. So I said, what can I do for you? I said, do you have food? She said, I don't have that much food. I said, do you have a way to cook it? She said, no. I knew that because of power. I said, well, I have a camping stove, a small camping stove and some gas. I'll let you use. You can heat you up some water if you got some water. Water don't cost but $1 a jug. You know what I'm saying? You know, I got probably 13, 26, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I probably got about 30 gallons of water stored different places in my house. So I said, remember the lady had gave me the box of food. I said, listen, I can give you our camping stove and a couple bottles of gas. And I had those light bulbs that you use during the hurricane. I said, I can give you that. You know what I'm saying? And once you, if you need some food, just let me know. So, but as I'm talking to her, I said, oh, would you like a job? I said, I just became assistant manager of a location in Greenville. I said, she said, well, that's what this is what she said, y'all. The shelter that I'm going to is in Greenville. Thank you. She said, the shelter I'm going to is in Greenville. I said, well, I'm hiring. I said, the manager asked me the other day, did I know anybody who wanted a job? And I told her no because I didn't like the way she was managing, right? But then I thought about it. I said, I'm in this store. If it ain't no help, I got to look out for my, you know what I'm saying? Because I've been working by myself. I worked 12 hours the other day, me and one person. And then the day before that, I worked 9 hours, I think, me and one person. So on the weekend, I ain't been having no help. So I was like, girl, if you could get to Greenville and the shelter is not too far from where I'm at, I will pick you up. We're going to work together. So she said she was going to let me know. And so I did call her back yesterday. But I said all that to say is everybody is going through something. If you look like me. Now, I ain't talking about the ones that look like they got it all together and they got their husband, you know what I'm saying? Husband, 2 houses. I'm talking about even with the husband and the wife house, the wife is still different from the husband. I worked in corporate America. I know it's hard going to these jobs still looking like me and not being singled out. Period. That's how I feel. That's my truth. Ain't nobody taking it from me. I don't know a position yet where your hierarchy is not a male that, you know what I'm saying, you battling, you doing probably half of his work to stay in your position. Sit down, shut the fuck up kind of energy. You know what I'm saying? That's why we read the 48 Laws of Power. Because let me tell you something. When you start to open, yeah. When you start to open, but you know what made me feel good about it, Ann, and I'm glad you said that. What makes me feel good about it is for y'all that's up here, we're working now to build our business. Remember, I just went 9 months and didn't work 10 months, however many months. I can't even keep up. Anybody else can't keep up with time. It's like this. But I survived. So my intentions now, my number one thing is when I go and I'm going in somebody else's job, the main objective is for me to buy some Noah tools, everything, and to put something for my business. That's how I feel. Right? My thing this week is I'm getting my truck fixed because, baby, when I'm in my truck, if I had to pull the seats out of them and live in there for 30 days, I will. Period. Because we don't know what's going to happen. And you might got to have a tent in your house or a tent on top of your vehicle. But when you go outside, you might got to hit them woods. Get to learn your area. Okay, so where we at? Because we been outside naked, y'all. This is a new project. Because we have been outside naked and we understand time is going by fast. Right. That's why we got to slow down. See, that's what CERN is all about. They speeding up time. Because like I just said, remember I said the thing about Ethiopia. Ethiopia don't go by this calendar. They still go by the 13 months. That's why they don't want 13 and nothing over here. Ethiopia still goes by the 13 months. Now, in May, remember I told y'all May the 20th, we're going to have 2 full moons in 1 month. That's because they've been switching in the kitchen. They switching the time around, right? So if they speed up, what are they in 5G, 6G? What that mean? You got to slow down. And I have seen myself. Start observing yourself. I have seen myself trying to go like a car going down the highway, freeway. Slow down, Marcia. Slow down. Right? I said that to be because that's why so many people have attacks on their heart. Reverse that. Heart attacks. Remember they said Monday was the most highest, okay, day that people were having heart attacks is because that's the day they gotta go to work after they broke up their weekend, right? So Monday, all right, it is 3:33. I am a sign of encouragement, support. I said support and spiritual awakening. So that right there, Monday, moon day. Sunday, sun day. Saturday, Saturn day. So you got to think, right? So everything now, it seems like we having to break it down. Anybody else remember this is what I just thought of. This is funny to me, but for entertainment purposes only. Remember they had that block, that brick. That brick had to be broke down, right? You know what I'm saying? For the little people. Then you had something for the big people. Think about it. It'll come to you. Right? So, um, we really at a time, y'all, where we need to keep connected. You know what I'm saying? I have been thinking about Miss Helen. I miss Miss Helen. You know what I'm saying? I needed to take a little break from Miss Helen, but I miss Miss Helen Hattie, right? I do. And I miss a few more people that I had to take a break from. I did just stop answering or block or whatever, but the love is still there. I just had to separate because I had too many people tugging on my energy and for hours and hours. You know what I'm saying? So I had to break that down, y'all, because we do get into other people's energy. If you sit there and say you call me at 9 o'clock and then we on the phone for 4 hours. I done jumped all in your house and Sam's and you know what I'm saying? I done went with you everywhere that the conversation that my ears are hearing. My portal is going there. You know what I'm saying? So appreciate y'all. And y'all know another thing too, I do a lot of my ministry without pay. Nobody can say that I don't not answering my phone because you ain't got no money. You know what I'm saying? So, but at some point in time, I have to stop because I'm gonna destiny swap with you. I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? I want to keep my own image, created in my image. But if I submit myself to that day after day after day, I will. You know what I'm saying? And another thing too, I will also back up from people if they talk about other people too much. If I know everybody business, not one person, you know what I'm saying? Not this is the problem we're trying to get a solution to, right? But just you talking about this person, 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 and all of them you have something negative to say, I feel like you have something negative to say about me. That's just how I feel, you know? But I'm not sure, so I'm going to roll with that. So let's see. Let's see. So, we have to block some energy and, put up your hands and say, Not right now. Time is going by fast. Not right now. I'm really committed at this time to be loyal to myself. I can see where I'm going. You get what I'm saying? And I take that time. If anybody know me and you know me, I will take my time for peace, right? For my peace on earth. So, all right, let's see. But if y'all see Miss Helen on TikTok, tell her Marcia said hey. Okay. Sacred resolutions. Rare success. I'll take the bottom and the top. Spiritual connection. And we got Crossroad to Destiny too. So we know for a fact. So let's read it like we have it. Rare success for sacred revolutions, spiritual connections, and crossroad of destinies. We going somewhere, y'all. If it looked like this is not um okay, let's put it this way. Let's put it as a science way. Everything is moving. Nothing is standing still. Nothing is still. You get what I'm saying? That's why we have to slow it down. Meditation, you know what I'm saying? Alone time. Slow it down because it's never gonna stop moving. The earth don't look like it's moving, but it's moving. You get what I'm saying? Put a heart in the chat if you get what I'm saying. Everything is always moving. Everything. You are never, it appears to you that you stuck and stagnant. But just think, is the world not moving faster than what you think it is? And then you got people tampering with it. You know what I'm saying? You got people tampering with the weather. You got people tampering with the air. Even in the what was it? The Epstein files. They said they were eating the people and throwing the stuff outside in the water. Remember the last live we had? I said, y'all, it's something going on with this water. Everybody need purification. Remember, I talked about that. I said, it's something going on with the water. It's something about the water. I've significantly said that. And then they came out and said they were doing whatever they were doing with the bodies. Whatever they were doing, I guess they were drinking the blood and getting rid of the bodies, and they were throwing it out in the water to the creatures or to the, you know what I'm saying, to the sea, to the ocean. So, purification. Let's see. Look, third card under. So let's see. This is third card. I got three people in here. I said purifications. Y'all heard me say it. The first card was sacred play. The second card, excuse me, the second card was your time to shine. And the third card was purification. Right? So, and divine alchemy. Right? To transmute the game meals for entertainment purposes only. The whole time, people have been telling us things because that's part of law. I have to tell you strategically what I'm doing so karma don't hit me. You get what I'm saying? It's just like being in a relationship with a toxic person. And the toxic person say, "Oh, we don't go together." Right? But they always in your energy. In your let me see, in your dark matter, right? My hand itching. It's my left hand. But they'll tell you, oh, we ain't together. But you ciphering all my energy. You know what I'm saying? So you tell me what you want to tell me. All right, let's put purification. Divine alchemy. So it looks like so for the Ace of Wands, new projects is confirming with rare success. For Naked, Mama Waters is sacred revolution. For Egg on the Face is spiritual connections. For Dodging Bullets is crossroad to destiny. And for Really Committed this time is divine alchemy. That's how it came out. That's why I kept on. I didn't set it up like that, but that's what. For peace. Remember, we got peace. Peace on earth. Right? And you know what I noticed too? It take a lot to have peace on earth as an individual, because some people, they need somebody else for their peace. But if you can stand 10 toes down on you provide your peace, you make yourself a sacred space, divine destiny, divine guidance. You know, because some people, they gotta, they got a spouse, you know what I'm saying? They always having to, share their time with their spouse, or they got kids, right? So they always having to share, their time between their spouse and their kids. It's time. They got to make time for self. But I have learned, for me, I have to create that space for myself. And I've been doing that. Whether I get to work, people like, you'll be here early. A lot of times I get to work early because I need that time to tap into self. If y'all been watching my shorts, y'all see a lot of times I'm making them shorts in the dark. I'm in the truck. I'm making the shorts in the truck because I'm at the work location, but I'm taking that time to put my content out. First of all, content creators is a job. Not even just a job, it's a career. Because it can retire you early. I've done the research. Am I there? No, I ain't even hit 1,000 yet. But I come as much as my energy allows me, because sometimes y'all working with people, I'm telling you, man, I be drained. You know what I'm saying? I have to now make my content before I go in there and subject myself to a whole lot of other people's energy. So that's why you see a lot of my shorts now is in the car, because I'm doing it. I'm getting to work about 30 minutes early to sit in the car and do something for me, right? So that's the thing. Do something for you before you do something for somebody else. Even people know that have talked to me that I do one-on-ones with, make sure you got you taken care of before you give me something, right? Because the last thing Marcia want to hear, dream truth, is you did something for me but didn't do something for yourself first, right? So put yourself at first. What did it say? Put no man before you. Put no idols before you. Something like that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So start back taking that. Even if you got to set your alarm clock for earlier to get back to you. Healing through love, core, recovery, safe to feel again, right? Healing through love, right? So it goes back to say, just what if you ain't got him? Put you first and then give him some love. But you gotta get back to self. That's my self first, right? the most high self. You can stay high if you keep yourself first. Change them words around. You know what I'm saying? That's the one thing I have learned as being a slow learner. I'm not in the rat race to try to learn something fast and go regurgitate it. When y'all don't see me up here, I'm studying, right? How I interpret my studying is for me. How I give it out is for the collective. But I got to get it in me. Food for thought for me first, right? Because reading is your bread, right? Bread and read. Remember, bread got word read in it. And then we said breadcrumbs. You don't want the breadcrumbs. You know what I'm saying? You want you want a whole piece of bread, so you gotta read. So you can get the crumbs together. You know what I'm saying? Get the ingredients together to bake a cake. Kind of the same ingredients, right? Bread, flour, cake, flour. Then you start, So, we getting back to healing is our core value. That's what I see. To self-recovery. Feeling safe within self again. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes we be looking at ourselves and we be like, what happened to me? You know what I'm saying? Where did she go? Right? That's why I tell people, take that hair off. Take them eyelashes off. Take that off and get back to yourself, your original self. Because some people don't like to see themselves without all the fixings. I got on the fix today, boy. I put some mousse on this thing. I found this in the bag. This was one of the first ones I bought, and I couldn't find it for a long time. It was in the bag with some mohair. So, once you get back to yourself, then it's going to be right place, right time. Then it's going to be time for union. You get what I'm saying? A real union. Right? Real. Right place, right time. Alignment. Divine timing. Meant to be. So that's why I had to cut off my little whoop-de-whoop, because I feel like it wasn't the right time for us, because every time we got this far, he pushed back. You know what I'm saying? Pull back, and then I got to go up further. No, I'm not running. I'm not, if you're not in alignment, then baby, you're not right now, because I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? And some people, they like to be miserable. You know what I'm saying? Or they selfish. They all for self. You know what I'm saying? Always telling you what they need from you. Right? Soul searching. Right? Everybody ain't out here soul searching. Some people looking for it right now. A quick fix. I promise you. So it's not going to be, a healing for them. So it's kind of like you got to go back to your childhood state, your inner child, for your self-mastery, right? You got to tap back into that inner child for your self-mastery. How you going to do that? You got to tap back into your psyche so you can remember, right? Remember. Who remember? How many people you think remember what they wanted to be as a child? As a child, I wanted to be a teacher. I didn't have no sisters. My dad didn't have a lot of education, but he came and got me out of foster care, right? He did the best that he could do. But even as me being a girl, a young girl, and my daddy was very strict, I was in there teaching my little teddy bears. You know what I'm saying? So you got to remember, what did you want to do as a child? And are you doing that now? And if you are doing it, that was your calling, right? You didn't let up on your dreams and your desires. Queens. We have Queen of Cups out here. I don't even know if I like the word queen no more. don't know. Because when you look at the etymology of queen, then baby, I don't know. You might don't want nobody calling you queen. All right, but what does the interpretation of queen have to do with this card? Compassion, comfort, calm, nurturing, healing, emotionally stable, intuitive, and caring. Have you ever noticed that most of the intuitive, most of the time, the word intuitive is attached to a woman? Not saying that masculines aren't intuitive, but have you noticed that women are more intuitive than men? So that makes me think that we the head and not the tail, because they always thinking about some tail, and we always thinking about how to get ahead. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Baby, you could be going through hell and high water. He's talking about, you gonna let me get some night? You get what I'm saying? So, or can you please? Yeah. So, I feel like the women are doing more inner work at the most high level. I'm not saying that the masculine are not. Because they are on a spiritual path. They are you said why. And in your notebook, write down queen. Go look up the definition. Don't do it now, do it after class. The definition, the etymology of the word queen. And the word nice. So you remember what's her name? Dang. She used to come to our class on TikTok. And she used to be a subscriber, or it wasn't a subscriber. Well, yeah, it was a subscriber. She from North Carolina. She from was she from Greensboro? What was her name? Ann? What's her name? Ann? No. Michelle. She used to couldn't stand for nobody to call her the word nice. And she used to always say Yahweh. She never said God. Right? So that's why I try to tell people a lot of people that I have connected with in my yes, Michelle. Okay, thank you. She did not like for anybody to use the word nice. So yeah, look up the etymology of queen and nice. All right. So we were talking about self-mastery. So soul searching and self-mastery, your spiritual path. It's still your chakras being aligned. That number 7, right? That number 7 it's everywhere. 777 in the Bible. All right. Then what did I say? Self-love and guidance. Look at it. Look at that. Look at that. Girl and boy. Girl and boy. Pink and blue. Right? Self-love and guidance. Celibacy. Right? It ain't easy, but it's worth it. Because you're not just giving away your power. Always giving away your power. Loving you, feeling happy, releasing the past, taking a break from love. Um, I don't know how to say it, but for entertainment purposes only, for me, that's where I'm at with this. You get what I'm saying? I can't give myself to the masculine right now for his guidance. I gotta tap into my celibacy for my guidance, right? Um, and it's working. I can feel like, I don't owe, and I guess because I love and I love so hard because I'm a Virgo, and that's why I feel like the balance is for me to be over here doing it. If I'm giving, at least I know over here, if you give me your time, you appreciate it. You just looking for, clarity, clarification, confirmation. You get what I'm saying? Um, right after that, I see it's time to release negativity. Wow. I see the King of Cups is here. So we had the Queen of Cups. Oh no, the King of Wands. And what did I say? Intimacy. Look, intimacy right on the top. You have to take a little time away from intimacy. So we were right on point. Self love, guidance, and intimacy. You know, passion coming together, magnetic pull. Remember, I said the male is going to pull the energy from you because they got the wand, right? You know, they the line, you the nine, they the line. So, um, right now it's giving me when you do your celibacy, it's for both of y'all, the masculine and the feminine. So y'all both can get guidance, but so y'all could come together as one because two become together as one when you mixing up DNA. That's how you bring one, or you know, some people got twins or triplets, and you know, on and on. But you creating something. Sometimes, my ex would say, "Absent makes the heart grow fonder." You know what I'm saying? So they might not understand it. Might be a little pissed off, but it's for the benefit, for good for you and for all. Oh, let's see what the King of Swords. I mean the King of Wands. I say Wands. Um, Natural leader, visionary, entrepreneur, the bigger picture, overcoming challenges, nature, and career focus. So some men, since that's the king, right? That king needs to be celibate, or what do they call it for kings? Do they call it celibate, or do they call it semen retention? You get what I'm saying? Um, so they can find that passion. You know what I'm saying? For their self too, because it's like you setting a boundary. It's like you setting up saying, listen, we trying to manifest something. Right now, we're gonna have to separate, you know, the connection so we can build out. Yeah, so we can build that energy back up. Because you know, sometimes it's so easy to just roll over and satisfy. You know what I'm saying? But when something is trying to be brought from nothing to something, as far as birth, right? When you're trying to birth, you create nothing from something. Heed the message, see the signs. Um, then you could get together and celebrate. After, you know what I'm saying? Then you got, cause it's celebrate, right? Um, when the king and queen independently, her with compassion and him as a natural leader, come together and you know separate and have that time, then you get celebration, joy, harmony, marriage, right? That's why you have some people that say, oh, we're not doing nothing till I get married. Or now you got people that say, oh well, we're gonna be 90 days and not, you know what I'm saying, to to build the energy up. Do you get what I'm saying? Am I there? Give me a heart if I'm there, because I might be. I don't want to lose nobody. Okay, thank you. Yeah. All right, Crossroad to Destiny, dodging bullets. Let's see what the message oracle got to say. It's time to release negativity for self mastery, building a love that lasts. All right, we got two cards. Seek your destiny. Do it get any better than this? Crossroad to Destiny and seek your destiny. embrace your masculine. Wow. Wow. That's why I love this. I love these cards. You get what I'm saying? It's it's gratification. It's, you get what I'm saying? It's confirmation like this. Like, all right, I don't want to cry. I don't want to cry because I remember I didn't know what I was doing, right? And I would every day, I want to know how to shuffle. Now I know how to shuffle. You know what I'm saying? I want to know how do you put that together? How does that happen? Um, it's like with divinations, you find a way of storytelling. You get what I'm saying? Harvest. You find a way to move to calmer waters, right? You find a way to move to calmer waters when you putting the pieces of the puzzle together. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen times where I picked up these cards and read for people and they cry. You know what I'm saying? Release the toxic enzymes that's within. And some people, it's hard for some people to cry. They feel full, but once you cry, like that salt water come out. Um, that salt water is moving you to calmer waters. Six of Swords. Transition, change, leaving behind, releasing baggage, moving on, right? Um, if those tears are stuck and stagnant and you cry, it's like you can move on. You like, I feel better now. You know, that peace. Um, it's like watering. What was it in the biblical where it said, was it biblical when they said, don't let no tears hit the ground. God, don't make that person cry. God gonna, that's where some karma come from. You make that person cry. You know what I'm saying? Dang, I can't think of it right now. It's on the tip of my tongue. He the messenger is back. Now I know I just shuffled these cards. Did y'all not? I'm getting that a lot too. I be shuffling, at least I think I be shuffling, and I will get the same card. Be without malice. If it come out again, it's me. He the messenger. And see the signs. Seek your destiny. I see really committed this time. It's two wedding rings up there. It's two candles. It's a red string. Red string, what is that? The Kabbalah string. And it's a piece of paper there. Maybe it's a marriage license. Divine Divine Alchemy, Ascended Master Mary Madeline. Y'all know I love this card because my mom, that's my mom's and my grandmama's name. My grandmama and my mama have the same name, Mary Madeline. That just happened to be Jesus's grandma and mama. Let me see what it say because that's significant. It's Divine Alchemy. With perfect trust, I surrender into the process of radical transformation, allowing my soul to express itself in an entirely new way. In complete faith, I recognize the unlimited healing powers and creative genius of the divine within my heart. In the mind of the divine. So that's heart and mind, the divine working together. Because the mind, like I said, the mind don't even have no. We always go up here when it comes to the mind, but really the mind don't have a. The mind is an energy, and that's a number 7. The mind is a number 7 in numerology. In the mind of the divine, there is only possibilities and the grace needed to attain the heart's higher purpose. I commit myself to the evolution of my consciousness with joyful confidence in the reality being birthed. In the reality being birthed. We talked about something about birth a while ago. Through my soul at this time. I live in the realization that I am loved intimately and tenderly by the divine. I do have this book out, and it just happened to be right here on the top. If anybody ever read this book, it's called The Power of the Subconscious Mind. It tells you about, you know, your sleeping state, your conscious, your unconscious, your subconscious. And now, y'all, I found another consciousness. It was called moral consciousness. You could go look it up, but I do have the definition because I had never seen it, and I got that out of the book of my aunt. And it says the moral consciousness, the inner awareness, and the ability to perceive the ethical dimensions of situations, guiding behavior towards what is considered right, virtuous, and good. It's your mental compass, balancing personal desires with social responsibility. Yep. And I hadn't seen that. Did I get it out of here? No. Hold on. I take that back. But there was something. Oh man, I got it out of here. A purpose-driven. The purpose-driven life. Yeah, I got it out of here. Matter of fact, it's still on the page. Right? So, that was an interesting. I didn't do a video. That was supposed to be the next class that I was gonna do, and that was coming out of. I'm gonna tell you. Let me see. I think I just knocked the notebook back down. I'm gonna tell you. Hold on one second. Okay. All right. So that was everything everything we thought we knew, we don't, and everything I thought I knew, I didn't. I don't know anything, so I'm open to learn. Okay, everything. So this was going to be the class for yesterday, but like I said, so much happened. Um, this class is about entertainment. Entertainment. Okay? The purpose driven was chapter number 22. You know, I just picked chapter number 22 because that's my birthday. So, and tomorrow is the 22nd. Okay? We talked about autodidactic in the beginning of this video, self-development, self-taught, the basic instructions before leaving Earth, which is the Bible. I went to Romans 8:29. If you want me to read Romans 8:29, I can go over that now. Put a heart. But that's what yesterday I started writing out the class, and then like I said, I was everywhere. Put an 8 in the chat. We'll do Romans 8:29. Become a shapeshifter. All right. And we got heart repair right after that. Healing, love wins, and building trust. I know me, y'all, I really was having trust issues with people, places, and things. So yeah, it's time for us to be really committed to divine alchemy. And let's do one Isis. And do you want to do that right after this? If that's, is that Ann still in here? See it. Okay, let's see what Isis got to say. Past time, past life, present power. Past life, present power. The many spiritual faces of you. What did I say? New year, new you. Many faces. Oh, look at the hourglass. Past life, present power. Mm, it's giving past power. Okay. So we've been up here an hour and almost 30 minutes. And I'm going to give you about 2 minutes. If you want to talk right after this, if that is not in, the person is still in the chat because I know the numbers went down. Um, Thank you for being here. My name is Dream Truth. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. It's helping me build um, strength in my motivational speaking, in my ministry, in my self mastery, development of a successful self. I might just start leaving this and putting these new ones that we doing as of spring in its own file, in its own folder. You know, we started out with the struggle is real. I think there are 23 videos in the struggle is real. If anybody want to go check it out, if you haven't seen them, a lot of those was during the time that I was going into TikTok. I have pulled back from TikTok and came back into YouTube. Thank you for the heart, sweetie. And that those are in the podcast, on the podcast, because you know they let you show your playlist and it's under podcast. But I think I might for a little while start keeping these in the development of a successful self, and just putting episode 1, spring episode, spring forward episode 1. Let me write it down because I will forget. I got a little age on me in this age of Aquarius. Okay, so we're going to put it under, we're going to leave it at development and we're going to put it spring, develop. Okay, spring forward episode 1. Thank you. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for anyone who comes across this message. This message is timeless. Whenever you see it, you see it. Welcome. Thank you for all the new subscribers. Gratitude is my altitude. I am so grateful and thankful for anybody who is in my energy. I shall not steal, kill, or destroy, because I am a force for good. I am a force for all. I defy the odds. I set new standards. Right? No weapon formed against me shall prosper. Have a good day. Come again. Tell a friend and a neighbor. We back.